It's Macy's one-day sale Saturday with a preview day Friday with amazing deals of the day store-wide. Take an extra 50% off clearance for her, him, juniors, and kids. Save 30 to 50% plus an extra 25% on select fine jewelry. Take an extra 50% off clearance handbags. Single-serve coffee, tea, and espresso makers and K-Cups 40% off. And save big on designer pillows now to $6.99. Macy's one-day sale. Doors open at 9 a.m. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Get great President's Day mattress deals now through Sunday at the Revive Sleep Centers inside Living Spaces, where you'll find the best deals on all the top brands. For a limited time, save $300 on Stearns & Foster collections.
7th-ranked Arizona. Two of the top three teams in the Big West will collide at the Pyramid in Long Beach tonight. Third place, Long Beach State, hosting conference leader UC Davis at 7. Riverside's at Santa Barbara. Hawaii will visit Irvine, and Cal State Fullerton hosts Cal Poly SLO. Hockey, Kings beat Colorado. Ducks lose to Tampa Bay, all by 4-1 scores. Sports, 20 and 50 minutes past each hour. Randy Cardoon, KNX 1070 News Radio.
When I could no longer take care of him myself, I found a great nursing home with a caring staff. But they've called 911 twice this month. I don't want to move him. He has a routine. It's become his home. But what are my options?
Vitas Healthcare brings hospice home wherever the patient calls home. Call 844-544-CARE. That's 844-544-2273. Or go to bringhospicehome.com.
Hey neighbor, Ace's 20% off store-wide sale is this Saturday only. So stop by your neighborhood Ace to get 20% off almost anything store-wide that you can fit in your bag. From paint to birdseed to light bulbs. It's our way of saying thanks for being great neighbors. Offer good at participating Ace stores only. Discount applies to the regular price of in-stock merchandise that fits inside one bag. Additional conditions and exclusions apply. See store for details. One bag per customer.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
KNX News Time, 8:22.
Sex, the age of consent. Reports of sexual assault in the military increased 8% last year as more service members feel more comfortable discussing it. But in this age of consent, there are still fears of unfair trials and retaliation.
Stacy Thompson is a Marine Corps veteran. Back in 1999 on Okinawa, she says her sergeant drugged and raped her. She reported it the very next day, going up her chain of command.
They allowed him to voluntarily leave the Marine Corps and in lieu of trial by court-martial. And what they did to me was in retaliation for reporting, for going and requesting mass to the base general, for contacting my congressman, trying to get someone to do something. The retaliation was that I had reported I was drugged that night, and so they began a drug investigation on me.
She received a less than honorable discharge. She blames the system.
Even if someone within your chain of command rapes you or sexually assaults you, you are required to go to your boss. And it just doesn't make any sense.
Don Christensen, the former chief prosecutor for the Air Force, agrees. He tried to change the military justice system, pushing for lawyers, not commanders, to make key decisions.
For them, it was almost as if, this was something brought down by Moses. That was unquestionable to in any way challenge military justice.
The Pentagon tells KNX there's more to be done, but progress is being made. Retaliation is specifically prohibited, and victims are being provided with legal advocates to help them through the process. Tom Riopel, KNX 1070 News Radio.
There's always been sex, drugs, and rock and roll in showbiz, but it is not as well tolerated today. That's next in our series of special reports today, coming up at 8:47. KNX News Time, 8:24. One of the big stories we're talking about this morning, of course, is the superbug. That's on these endoscopes. The reality is, it sounds like it's a brand new thing, but it's not. This has been identified going back as many as 3 years, back to 2012, when there were hospitals in Seattle and Chicago and in Pittsburgh that all ran into these over the last several years. FDA's been involved in this, as they are again today. We had that report. And it looks as though what is happening is, first of all, you would have thought they would have had a handle on it by now. How to clean these scopes and get them properly done. They haven't.
No, we want them to have a handle on things. If you think it started a few years ago, we want the government and other agencies and hospitals to have a handle on things. But the reality is that things move slowly sometimes, and there are reasons why they don't. And then we have a problem like this, where up to 200 people were exposed. Yeah. John Baird is out at the Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center this morning. He's going to have more on this new sort of warning from the FDA out this morning, and tell us a bit more coming up in just minutes here on KNX. KNX news time, 8:25.
Traffic and weather together on the 5s. Here's your update, brought to you by the Oxygen Temporal Scanner Thermometer. Here's Jen.
All right, 10 eastbound at Rosemead. We've got a dog that is apparently running along the right shoulder. Apparently, the man has called the CHP about this for the last 3 days. He lives in the grass. I guess the dog kind of hangs out in the grassy area, but then runs into the freeway area. So I just want to give you a heads up on that 10 eastbound at Rosemead. He's doing that again. 5 southbound, northern end of the valley, 5 south at the 405. We got a 4-car crash. Fire department en route there, southbound side of the 5 at the 405. We talked about just how heavy the drives were out of the valley. They continue to be really, really tough this morning. If you continue on that 5, it's worthy of noting it is just slammed from, again, because of the problem at the 405, it's backed up all the way out of the Newhall Pass, and then it gets slow again at the 118, and it just stays heavy all the way through Burbank, down into the East LA interchange. Also, eastbound 210, we've been talking about this off and on. It's just gotten this pattern has started, and it just gets heavy getting away from Sunland, and it stays tough all the way down to La Crescenta. That's just a pattern. There's nothing in lane. They get calls on it every now and then, and that's just what's developed, unfortunately. Just how it is. 110 southbound, this is the Royal Seco Parkway. It's been tough from York all the way down into downtown. Let's talk more about these downtown commutes. Northbound Harbor heading up into the downtown area has been miserable from the 105 up. If your choice is the Santa Monica Freeway, well, there you go. It's very, very heavy east and westbound. The westbound side loads up the minute you get away from the Harbor Freeway. It stays heavy all the way out into the Palms area, finally breaking free about Overland. And the eastbound side stays tough, starting around Fairfax, and it's just slow and go, stop and go all the way into downtown. When buying a thermometer, trust over 50 published studies supporting the accuracy of the Oxygen Temporal Scanner. Your family deserves the best. The Oxygen Temporal Scanner Thermometer available at Walmart. Traffic and weather together on the 5s. Our next report at 8:35 from your Southern California traffic leader, KNX 1070 at CBSLA.com.
Low clouds and fog continuing for a while longer here in Southern California, probably till mid-morning, so just be careful as you're driving along out there. We had some really dangerous places earlier this morning. Temps in the lower 70s later on this afternoon. Then for tomorrow, low clouds and fog again in the morning. Clearing out to the beaches in the afternoon, the high in the 60s to about 70 or so. Excuse me.
Do I need to go get you something?
Yeah, I don't know.
A Heimlich or something?
Yeah,
I don't think that would go well. I'm just saying, if I had to do that for you.
It'd be an interesting sound on the radio. But having said that, what I wanted to mention here was the fact that we have this possibility of a little light rain developing late Saturday into Sunday for all the Oscar stuff. So we'll see how that plays out. Right now, downtown Los Angeles has 58. It's 55 in San Clemente, and in Pasadena this morning, it's 55.
Hello, I'm Alan Mazda, Toyota of Orange. Thank you, Southern California. Why do I say thank you? Because last year we sold more new Toyotas than any other time in our 40-year history, making us the #1 volume Toyota dealer in Orange County again. And the momentum continues during our February sales event with prices so low, I'm not allowed to quote them on air. Don't miss this opportunity.
It's a little bit more gruff, a little more crackly.
Give us a taste, Adrian. Come on, you hot cheerleader, you can do it.
11 in the morning, 104.3 My FM.
Want to play in Vegas for free? Yeah.
Order us.
Calls you to come visit. Imagine all that you'll see in Alaska. Now imagine seeing Alaska at a price you can afford. YMT Vacations has an incredible 12-day fully escorted tour and cruise of Alaska. On sale now from just $117 per person per day. Call 877-700-7938 today to learn more about visiting Alaska this summer. That's 877-700-7938.
Dr. Charles Manger at Saddleback Eye Center introduces the all-new 3D WOW LASIK exam, the most advanced technology in the field of LASIK surgery. Dr. Manger will measure your eyes in 3D for the best crystal clear vision. And I'll give you a 3D LASIK exam to you and the first 14 callers only. So stand by, phone number is coming, so get your phone ready to dial. This new 3D LASIK exam and procedure are for people who are nearsighted, farsighted, you need reading glasses, or you have astigmatism. And Dr. Manger does 3D LASIK to give you the best vision. It's like comparing regular TV to high-definition TV. And it'll give most people better vision than what they have now with glasses or contacts. I'll give you a free 3D LASIK exam if you're one of the first 14 callers. Call 866-755-4444. 866-755-4444. 866-755-4444. 4444.
See Celtic Thunder live at the Orpheum Theater Friday, February 27th. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Experience Celtic Thunder live at the Orpheum Theater Friday, February 27th. Tickets at livenation.com.
When the Newswatch never stops, always live and local. This is KNX 1070 News Radio.
Good morning, I'm Dick Helton.
And I'm Vicki Moore. Some of our top stories.
We got the latest on why the police are out in force in San Marino this morning.
And the FDA warning today on UCLA's superbug.
It is Thursday, February 19th. Here's what's happening now at 8:30.
More now on the search for a burglary suspect out in San Marino. Let's get the latest from KNX 1070's traffic anchor, Jennifer York.
All right, this is just east of the Huntington Library in a residential area off of Winston between Canterbury and Robles Street. There's a burglary suspect at large. We've got San Marino PD just surrounding the area there. There were apparently, allegedly, shots fired. Possibly a dog was hit with those shots fired. And again, if this parallels, Winston parallels Sierra Madre, so you might want to just steer clear because they're out in full force out there. Sierra Madre or Santa Anita Avenue are good alternates to Winston again, which is closed between Robles and Canterbury. Back to you in the studio.
That's the location, the situation right now. As we get more information, we will pass it along to you.
FDA has issued a new warning today about a medical device linked to the exposure of nearly 200 LA hospital patients to the superbug. KNX 1070's John Barrett at the UCLA Ronald Reagan Medical Center with the latest.
The Centers for Disease Control has been working with the FDA, and today the FDA issued that warning on widely used medical scopes that have been linked to this outbreak. 2 patients have died. The instruments were supposedly clean to the manufacturer's specifications. Dr. David Agus is the CBS News medical contributor. He says this is serious.
This is the 5th major infection over the last 2 to 3 years, and it keeps happening. And what scares me is they announced that this happened the end of January. 3 weeks later, they're notifying patients and sending them an at-home kit. Sounds a little strange to me.
The 2 scopes involved in the infection were immediately removed from service, of course, and UCLA says it's now using a decontamination process that exceeds the manufacturer's and national standards. Reporting live at UCLA, John Baird, KNX 1070 News Radio.
The FDA also out with a warning for people with peanut allergies to avoid using the spice cumin or any products that contain it. The advisory comes with hundreds of the products already being pulled from store shelves all across the country after traces of peanuts were found in some samples of cumin.
Walmart employees, at least some of them, are going to get a raise. Here's Frank Motek. That's right. America's largest private employer plans that within the next 6 months it will give raises to about 500,000 workers, nearly 40% of its more than 1 million employees. Walmart spending $1 billion to make changes in how it pays and trains hourly workers as the retailers try to reshape the image that its stores offer dead-end jobs. All of this coming about after massive protests and even lawsuits, including some here in California. Also, organized labor groups have been urging Walmart to raise its wages. Even with the changes, no need to break out the champagne. The company's average full-time wage will be $13 an hour, up from $12.85. And for part-time workers, the hourly wage will be $10, up from $9.48. Reporting live, Frank Motek, KNX 1070 News Radio.
President back at the Terror Conference in Washington says governments and religious leaders all around the world need to do more to discredit what he calls the ugly lie that the West is at war with Islam. Speaking today, he said it is critical to address the social and economic problems that help produce terrorists.
If entire communities feel they can never become a full part the society in which they reside, it feeds a cycle of fear and resentment and a sense of injustice upon which extremists prey.
The president urged Arab nations in particular to increase the economic and educational opportunities that can help young people from turning to terrorism.
But increasingly, Americans aren't very happy with how the president is handling this. There's a new CBS pullout.
Americans increasingly see ISIS as a threat to the United States. 65% view the group as a major threat, up from 58% in October. Majorities of Republicans, Democrats, and independents all view ISIS as a major threat to the U.S.
And now how the Chinese celebrate the Chinese New Year.
More than 100 Chinese cities now ban fireworks in an effort to improve air quality. But that didn't put a dent in New Year's celebrations in Beijing, where city skies lit up with massive fireworks displays for the Chinese New Year. An estimated 2.8 billion railway trips will be made in China during the New Year holiday, which brings in the year of the goat, according to the Chinese zodiac. Shannon Van Sant, CBS News, Hong Kong.
Take you up to the northern end of the valley. Check on the drive up there. KNX News Time, 8:35.
Traffic and weather together on the 5s with Jennifer York.
All right, so let's start with the valley. 5 southbound, northern end of the valley at the 405. We got a 4-car crash blocking the carpool lane. It's been very heavy coming out of the Newhall Pass. And then I just got off the phone with Kathy, and she was saying on the southbound 5 between Hollywood Way and Buena Vista, there's a right shoulder problem. It's been tough on that 5 south all the way down. In fact, it continues to be heavy into the East LA interchange. And then if you continue onto the 5 where it becomes a Santa Ana southbound at Lakewood heading to the Santa Fe Springs area, I was just reading about a poodle running around in lane southbound 5 at Lakewood, so heads up there. There was also another dog reported on the San Bernardino eastbound in the Montebello area at Rosemead. You know how much we love animals. All right, wanted to mention, as we had mentioned before, some police activity. San Marino police scouring the area for a burglary suspect. This is on Winston Avenue. It parallels Sierra Madre, just east of the Huntington Library there, between Robles and Canterbury. If you're in the area, I would stick with Santa India Avenue or Sierra Madre. And I was just on the phone with someone coming up from on the 210 eastbound heading into the La Cañada area. She said it was a stall there at La Crescenta. That's why it's been so tough there. So the eastbound 210 is tough from Sunland over to La Crescenta. Traffic and weather together on the 5s. Our next report at 8:45 from your Southern California traffic leader, KNX 1070 at CBSLA.com.
Looking at dense fog in the forecast, and we are expecting to see temperatures on the warmer side for today, but getting cooler as we head into the weekend, cloudier, and a slight chance of rain or drizzle as we head into late Saturday and late Sunday as well. By next week, warmer and drier. I'm CBS 2 meteorologist Evelyn Taft with your exclusive KNX 1070 News Radio forecast.
58 degrees downtown right now. Studio City has 56. In Corona this morning it's 54, and in Long Beach it's 59.
There's so much going on. We've got this police search underway in San Marino. Updates on that as we get them. John Baird is out this morning at the UCLA Ronald Reagan Medical Center following up on the superbug. All day long, 2 reports an hour on sex and the age of consent. All the reports on our website this morning, CBSLA.com. And then keeping an eye on the contract kind of negotiations at the port complex and the LAUSD.
LAUSD, the UTLA, says, well, that's it. We're in an impasse with the district over the contract negotiations.
But what does that mean?
That's entirely the point, isn't it? It's a little, this is sort of like, well, if you don't do this, I'll do that. I'll take my ball and bat and I'll go home. And that's not the way it works.
And we talked to Alex Caputo-Pearl earlier this morning with the teachers union, who is urging parents to call the district and to do that sort of thing. So are we going to see more actions and picketing and T-shirts outside the schools, or are they actually going to go on strike?
Here's the bottom line. Most parents cannot afford to have a strike by teachers because then they have to figure out daycare and all kinds of things. I mean, it gets really complicated for parents. So we're going to talk to Steve Lopez about that coming up in just a few minutes, about 10 minutes from now at 8:47.
Pump prices are up after the explosion at the ExxonMobil refinery in Torrance yesterday. Frank's got more on that. Your money news coming up next. KNX News Time, 8:38. Hi, Jennifer York here. At this time of year, my hair goes crazy because it's cold one day, hot the next, then it's windy, then it's damp, then it's dry. My hair really takes a beating. So I started using Ovation Cell Therapy as a test because I heard that so many people were talking about how great it repairs dry, brittle, damaged hair by the elements. And you know what? Ovation Cell Therapy has made my hair more bouncy and shiny. It really works with a look and feel that's noticeably thicker, stronger, longer, and healthier. Now I have people asking me about my hair, and I tell them it's Ovation Cell Therapy Hair Care System. So if you're wondering what to do with your hair, try Ovation Cell Therapy. You'll look better, you'll feel better, and here's the best part. Right now, if you log on to ovationhair.com and select KNX 1070 News Radio at checkout, you'll get an introductory discount. So just log on to ovationhair.com right now and select KNX 1070 News Radio at checkout, and you'll get an introductory discount. It's worth it. Ovationhair.com.
The perfect curve rarely presents itself. Prepare yourself at the Lexus Command Performance Sales Event with great offers on the exhilarating GS, IS, and first ever RC Coupe. Now through March 31st. Lease the 2015 IS 250 for $349 a month for 36 months with $999 due at signing. See your Southern California Lexus dealer.
Call 1-800-USA-LEXUS for important lease offer and pricing details. Not all customers will qualify. Offer valid in the Lexus Western area only.
Imagine a grand tour through the heart of Europe like the journeys of days gone by. These days, nobody captures the original spirit of the grand tour better than Viking River Cruises. Their grand European tour offers you 15 days of exploration through the iconic cities and countryside of Europe. Budapest, Vienna, Cologne, Amsterdam, and everything in between. Enjoy the local culture and, of course, the food. Learn the history and what... View the elegant Lipizzaner stallions of Vienna. Join a tour of Prague's royal residences, or a meeting with a fifth-generation winemaker in Austria's Wachau Valley. Viking's exclusive privileged access makes it possible. Each Viking River cruise carries fewer than 200 passengers. Your outstanding crew and onboard concierge are all at your service. To learn more, visit vrc.com. When you book your cruise with them, they can also book your flight, saving you time and money. That's vrc.com.
KNX News Time 840. Money news for you right now, brought to you by your SoCal BMW centers. And here's Frank. The massive explosion at the ExxonMobil refinery in Torrance yesterday is pumping up pump prices. That refinery happens to be the 6th largest here in the state of California. And the self-serve regular up 2 cents a gallon in the LA Long Beach area in the last 24 hours. According to the latest AAA fuel gauge survey, we're looking at $2.90 now, the average price. That now 37 cents a gallon higher than where it was just a month ago, but still 89 cents below a year ago. This as the price of oil is pulled back nearly $3 today, back to around $49 a barrel. Oil company stocks have come under pressure today, including ExxonMobil, which is slipping at nearly $1 at the moment at 90 and change. The overall market mixed, with the Dow right now down 17 points, NASDAQ up 18, and the S&P 500 up a point. Apple slipping from all-time highs. It's been bouncing around close to $129 a share. Money news, 10:40 past the hour. Frank Motek, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Coming up, we're going to check your downtown commute. Jennifer Yorka has your traffic on the 5s coming up next. KNX News Time, 8:41.
Do you know what we call a 3-year-old BMW? The ultimate driving machine. BMWs are designed to last. They're engineered to be driven. It's in their DNA. And that doesn't go away after a few years or a few thousand miles. That's the beauty of a BMW certified pre-owned Elite. With a rigorous, uncompromising inspection and under 15,000 miles on the odometer, it's just getting started. And with exceptional offers from BMW Financial Services, you could be the one firing up the engine. Add in the peace of mind that comes with an up to 5-year, 75,000-mile warranty, and there's truly nothing standing in your way. So visit your local BMW center for a test drive and experience why every BMW certified pre-owned Elite is the ultimate driving machine. Welcome to the BMW Certified Edge. For full information about the BMW Certified Pre-Owned Elite warranty, call 1-800-3344-BMW.
For a limited time, get 0.9% APR plus a one-payment credit on most 2014 certified pre-owned Elite models. Visit SoCalBMW.com for details.
Thought you missed out on the lowest mortgage interest rates in your lifetime? You haven't. At Sovereign Lending Group, 30-year fixed rates are as low as 3.5% with an APR of 3.64%. That's right, as low as a 3.5% rate and APR of 3.64% for a 30-year fixed loan. We also have no-cost, no-point loans where you don't have to pay for title, escrow, lender fees, or an appraisal. Call Sovereign Lending Group now and lock in the best rates you'll see in a lifetime. 800-354-8214. We can close your loan in as little as 10 days. Don't wait for rates to increase. Call Sovereign Lending Group now for a 3.5% rate and APR of 3.64% on a 30-year fixed rate loan at 800-354-8214. That's 800-354-8214. 800-354-8214. Restrictions apply. Disclosed rate assumes a $300,000 rate and term refinance loan on an owner-occupied single-family resident and a 1.75 buy-down. Licensed by the Department of Business Oversight. License number 603J231. NMLS license number 189421.
Have you noticed creepy little scratching noises in your attic or walls? Ever think you heard something but weren't quite sure? You, my friend, very likely have a rat problem. Yes, I said rats. People who have them often aren't sure about it or never even notice. Rats are often overlooked until the problem gets way out of hand or until someone gets sick. Rats breed like crazy, carry diseases, and even if you don't see when their droppings and urine can be a huge health disaster. Ugh, yuck. Is your skin a little more itchy than it should be? Call All Pest Pros and get your home checked. If your suspicions are verified, they'll get rid of them. All Pest Pros specializes in rat detection, elimination, and prevention. Rats can get into your walls, air ducts, and start huge nests in your attic insulation. Who knows what you're breathing in? For your family's health and your peace of mind, call All Pest Pros now at 877-695-0535. Call for your free no-obligation rat inspection. 877-695-0535. 877-695-0535.
Huntington Beach Ford wants to start you off right, and the best way to do it is to get you in a new 2014 Edge at 0% APR for 60 months, plus an additional $1,000 Huntington Huntington Beach Ford rebate. That's right, an additional $1,000 rebate on all 2014 Edge on Beach Boulevard near Ellis in Huntington Beach. Or go to huntingtonbeachford.com. Call 800-SELL-A-THON. That's 800-SELL-A-THON. Nobody beats a Huntington Beach Ford deal. Nobody.
The buzz in Hollywood this year isn't who will take home the Oscar.
And the Oscar goes to...
It's the glaring lack of diversity in front of and behind the camera. Is Hollywood the last non-equal opportunity employer? Tomorrow morning at 10, join us for KNX Spotlight. Fade to White, taking your calls and tweets. Exclusive original programming from Southern California's news leader, KNX 1070 News Radio.
KNX News Time 845.